Hi, this is Christy. Today's math skill is on estimating. Estimating is an important part of math and a very handy tool for everyday life. The dictionary defines estimate as to roughly calculate the value. Roughly is the key word here because you aren't using a calculator or adding very specific numbers. Usually you want to come up with an estimate in your head. When should you estimate? You want to estimate when you have a large number that you don't want to count. For example, researchers might want to estimate very large numbers, such as the number of people who attend a big event, like a 4th of July fireworks show, a grand opening at a mall, or a presidential inauguration. And you and I can use estimation in our daily lives. It would be handy to be able to estimate how much your groceries will cost so you have enough money to pay for them. It would also be nice to know about how much gas you will need for a trip without doing extensive calculations. The key is that you don't want to get out a calculator and add exact prices in the grocery store. You want a quick answer. You want to get a rough idea relatively quickly. You can also use estimating when doing math word problems. If you estimate the answer before you start solving, you will be able to tell if your final answer is within a reasonable range or if it's very far off base. You'll know if your final answer makes sense. Usually, you will need to round your numbers in order to estimate. Rounding is a kind of estimating. You've learned about rounding in earlier math classes, but if you'd like to review it, please click on the link that I've provided in your module. Let's do an example of estimation together. Here's our problem. 10 years ago, Lena invested $5,307 in the stock market. Since then, she has lost $3,214. Approximately how much of Lena's investment is left? We are going to use a solving math word problems checklist, and you have that in your module that you can view and even download to print your own copy. Step 1, understand the problem. Let's read or reread together. 10 years ago, Lena invested $5,307 in the stock market. Since then, she has lost $3,214. Approximately, how much of Lena's investment is left? The next step says to visualize or draw it, which you don't always need to do, but I think it's a good idea, so we will today. The first thing that I think about is more of a line, maybe a number line or a timeline of some sort. And I'm just going to put 10 years ago here. Lena had $5,307. Now time has passed. It says since then she has lost some money. Oh, lost makes me think we're going down here. She's lost $3,214. And here we are today. We don't know how much she has today. The question says approximately how much of Lena's investment is left. And that is what we are trying to find. So that's just a quick sketch, but it sort of helps me to picture the problem in my mind. Next, it says to look up unknown words. Perhaps you don't know what invested or investment means. If you're doing your homework, you could look that up. And I looked it up for you. Investment means to use money in hopes of making more money. Many people spend money to buy very small portions of companies, which are called stocks. And later, they then want to sell those stocks and hopefully make a profit. The stock market is the place where you buy the stocks. Next, we want to determine what the question is asking us to find. Let's look at the last sentence. It's asking us to find approximately how much Lena has left. Identify required, extra, or missing information. I don't think we have extra information here, And I do think we have enough information to come up with an answer for what she has left. Step 2, make a plan to solve the problem. I am planning to use subtraction to solve this problem because I want to know how much money she has left. Oftentimes when you see the word left, it's going to be subtraction. I know that she started with $5,307, but she lost $3,214. So I'm going to set up a subtraction problem. And the next step on your checklist says to estimate the answer, which is actually the purpose of our lesson today. So we are going to estimate. Rather than writing out $5,307, I could round to the hundreds or the thousands place. And I think today, to make it easy, we're going to round to the thousands place. 5,307 rounded becomes 5,000. I want to know what she has left, so I'm putting a subtraction sign. How much did the value of her investment go down? Let's round $3,214 down to an even 3,000. Do you notice that I can actually do this in my head now? 5,000 minus 3,000, that's approximately 2,000. So, step 3 was to solve the problem. I wrote all the work out neatly. I didn't give up. And we can double check our math. Subtracting the zeros, you're going to get zeros. 5 minus 3 is 2. Double check. Step number 4, reflect on the problem. Did you answer the question? The question wants to know how much of Lena's investment is left. And I think that subtracting what she originally put in with what she lost is going to give me what she has left. So as I said earlier, when you are working a math word problem, it's a good idea to do an estimate before you start. That way you can check to see if your final answer is close to the estimate or if it makes sense. And if not, then you know that you should rework the problem. So please return to the module now and practice using estimation to solve math word problems. Thanks.